Okay. All right. Okay, Alex, here we go. 5, 4, 3,
He's so happy.
2, 1, and we're recording with
live.
The
No,
we can
no.
say live. We can say we're recording live on the Nobody's Famous podcast, and we're back, and we're here with a guest who says she's not interesting, but I
never said I'm not interesting. I just said I don't have a hobby.
No, you said you have nothing to say.
Yeah, it doesn't make me uninteresting.
Let me finish the intro.
I don't like the way it started.
Yeah, but that's intros are always so formal.
Okay, well, formal, but yeah, sure.
Necessary.
Incorrect.
They're formal but necessary. What were you gonna say?
I wasn't saying anything. I was letting you finish. So,
Letting me finish?
yes.
This is the longest intro ever for the show. It's the longest intro. So
He's going to kill us.
no. He's used to this stuff. This is Alex, and we're back. Nobody's Famous podcast with Nathalie Rashid. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
It's an absolute pleasure to be on the show.
Okay. Thanks. And first I want to start off by saying thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting us rearrange the saloon.
Oh, that's saloon. That's fine. You're going to put it back.
I know, it's very Western. I know. It has the swing doors there, So who entered the saloon? Can I get me? No, I don't.
Yeah.
But, it's just in the house we call it a saloon. What do you call it? The living room, right?
I mean, this is the dining area.
Dining area?
Yeah.
But you have
It's a dining
Netflix and
table.
chill there. So how's that dining?
But that's the living room.
We dine, then we Netflix.
No, but that's the living room and that's the dining room.
But they're in the same room though. So how are they two different rooms?
We just don't have a partition. That's it. It's like a virtual line.
Uh-huh.
You don't see it?
I know I see the line. But,
Okay.
But when people come, when they visit you, do they say?
They sit here unless they want to eat. Then they sit.
Okay, but it's still the same room.
Okay, fine.
Le chambre.
Le chambre.
Okay, so thank you for having us.
You're most welcome anytime.
At your wonderful home.
Thank you.
And I realized when we were coming in, it was. I didn't realize these places were here, and they're actually really nice.
They're new.
Maidan, by the way, if you guys want to rent, Maidan Villas, D1 308. It's just to let you know.
Polar residence, not Maidan Villas, but sure.
I'm sorry, what?
Polar residence.
Yes, exactly.
not
We were
Maidan.
going in as like polar residence. So like, polar residence.
Sounds very
So safe,
sophisticated.
they don't need a gate man. There's no one with it's like, just visiting. Please go on through. I know him.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure to have you, Nat. And,
Thank you.
And I know we were discussing before we actually started rolling, and you had a lot of let's say reservations, thinking that maybe you were not sure what you wanted to talk about, or we're telling you what the show was about and all that stuff, and you were like, So before I get to we're going to figure out what your hobby is. Before we get to that.
In 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay. Not that long, definitely. It will be a very exciting topic because you're going to make that commitment on the show. I want to ask you our standard question.
Yes.
And the reason I ask it is because just to have your take, everyone's take, everyone has a voice, everyone has an opinion. So I just want to ask you about that.
Nobody's famous.
Yes. Yes. So, what's the first thing you think of when you think of the name?
Like, I agree and I disagree. I mean, yes, nobody is famous, but also everybody is famous. I think it's subjective. As I was telling you before, what is famous? I mean, famous for me can be as long as 10 people recognize my work, but then famous for somebody else could be, no, you have to be like known within a larger scale of, I don't know, group of people. It could be organizations, entities. So I could be famous for me, but then you are. Oh, thanks. But then somebody like you would not consider me famous.
Okay.
For example, if we look at all those bloggers, the uprising generation of like influencers, I don't think they're, how can I say this? Yes, they're famous because some people know of them, but that makes them famous only potentially in their environment here. If you go elsewhere, a lot of people don't know of them. Or I'm not into the whole designer, fashion, lifestyle realm. So there's a lot of bloggers I'm not familiar with. So I would never consider them famous. If you come and you throw a name, I'd be like, I don't know, who's that person? So I think it's very subjective.
Nathalie Rashid, random person on Instagram with 3 million followers. But
potentially, yeah.
Yeah. But don't you think like those people that you're in that space with let's say thousands or even sometimes 100,000s of followers, don't you think those people are famous?
I mean, but famous for what? Like, if you don't interact with them and engage with them and they're just there watching you, that doesn't make you famous. You know how many strangers watch you every day that you're not aware of?
Yeah. Well, that's true. But wouldn't you say those people kind of connect with their audience in some way?
Of course they do. They have to. I mean, if this is, to keep up their game. But
because it's like saying, for example, like Tom Cruise isn't famous because many strangers watch him, but he doesn't really.
No, but he's famous for something.
Okay.
Wait, what? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's very subjective. So, I mean, what qualifies someone to be famous? Like, what are the standards of like what are if we were to put certain criteria? Yes, give it a score, right? So, what's being famous? What does it mean?
Oh, you're asking me now.
No, I mean it's like a cooperative.
We flipped it again. Keeps on flipping.
We're brainstorming here. Come on.
This is a group discussion.
Yeah.
Well, I would think if I were to think someone is famous, I think, like you said,
if we were to quantify it, right? So being famous, that means you have to have a certain number of people who know of you. They don't necessarily have to like you.
Okay.
So basically you're graded or you're rated, your level of is that even a word? Famousity. That word.
Famousity.
Famousity. So how many people know of you?
Well, you can't actually measure the impact of influence, can you? The only way.
Well, you can to a certain extent. I mean, what are you famous for? 3 would be.
How much money you make?
Yes. If some people consider being famous as, to be famous, you have to be making money out of it.
A lot of people make so much money, yet you rarely know about them.
Yeah, I know. For where, maybe, the area, like the parameters, I don't know.
Yes, actually, how many countries is this person known in? Actually, that's... So basically, what makes you today famous? That's true. I think those are some good parameters.
But here's the thing: are there any standard, generic?
I think those points are valid. I think there's a lot of different ways people look at it. All those different points are quite valid, as in it just becomes a norm or society, something accepted in society that, okay, this person is known for, let's say, making movies, and they've, this is how much money they make a year. All these people know them.
They appear on, I don't know, TV shows. They appear on podcasts.
For example.
So it's just, I think it's very subjective. So yes, nobody's famous. I think everybody can be famous.
But yes.
But yes, everybody's famous. Of course, everybody's famous. Of course. Just like Alex. It is family.
Off screen. I think Nat, I think you have given us a very good answer. I want to say that you've given us a very good answer.
Thank you.
And can be summarized in that sentence. It's very subjective.
Yeah, it is.
To many different types of people, because somebody would be. We discussed it several times, I think, on the show, or I don't remember when I mentioned it, but it's the world that we live in right now is. So many people are in. Before it was people were interested in a few things, but were very into those few things. So if you are someone who's so into music, you'd be collecting your vinyls and you know the years and you know all that stuff. If you're into like I don't know, like comic books, or you're into dresses, or you know like where
the
this
world
dress
of
is from and
collectibles
stuff.
was very like, now you rarely find this صراحة around us. At least I don't see
Which
it.
type of collectibles you mean?
In general, anything of interest.
Well, people still do collect, and the thing is that the numbers of things being sold are crazy stuff. Like
I just feel like there's, with the world that we like, the age that we're in, there isn't any more appreciation for such things.
you mean like vintage things, or just
anything that interests a person. I don't know, like it could be.
I mean, art is still being bought and sold. That's for sure.
Yeah, but not compared to before. Like not as much as before.
Well, you deal with museums. You tell us. You're buying and selling art all the time. Tell me.
It's different. No, it's the same. But the kind of museums that we are working on now, it's different because we don't acquire from different
eras.
Yeah, well, it's mainly we're creating the content because it's for the UAE, right?
Okay.
And it depends on the theme of the museum. And
But when you say create content, what do you mean?
so in the Emirates, they don't have it's not a very common thing, museology.
Yeah.
Not even just the Emirates, in this region, right? It's not common. And there is a lot of history that we don't know of because it's not captured and it's not displayed, and you can rarely know anything about it because it's not conserved.
Okay.
So the biggest challenge for us doing those museums was actually getting content, getting artifacts. Like we went to the National Archive and they were so proud of what they had, like all the footage and
But
whatnot.
it's locked away.
We got access to everything.
No, I'm saying as in you.
No, but it's not about that. It's about they tell you they're so proud of the footage that they have, and they look at you and they tell you, we have stuff that dates back to 1968, and you go like, oh, what? Like, because before that, nobody was collecting them, nobody was keeping them somewhere, nobody was tracking them, so there was no sense of documentation compared to, for example, the other countries around the world, including Lebanon. Lebanon has, you can find. So half of the museums that we're working on now, 60% it's digital content.
Yeah, that was the thing I was going to ask you, because what are you really procuring? You're not really like artifacts. That's pretty hard to find.
Although we found
like physical things, right?
We found obviously a lot, but not as much as a normal visitor would expect from a museum.
Okay.
So it is 60% digital, 40% artifact basis.
Easy to move around then.
Yeah, it's true. Plug and play.
Yeah. I'm creating a new museum. What's in it? It's all digital.
Hey, but that's the new... that's where we're going, no? That's where the world is going, no?
Well, yes. That's an entirely different topic, which we can get into, by the way. Digital. But this I like the water in the... There's a nice... that's how good the sound is. I'm joking. And then someone who's watching the video, that's what you think.
Yeah, you want to go back to...
I want to go back to... Because we went so...
sorry, to Nobody's Famous? Or did we close that?
No, that's closed now. That's closed. You still want to talk about it again? Didn't I give you my answer? No, I mean, like, I want to go back to collectibles.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned some stuff there. I want to go back to that, but maybe we should discuss your hobby. Should we discuss the hobby, the non-existent hobby?
Or maybe it does exist. I just don't know of it just yet.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Okay, run us through your day, like a weekday and a weekend, and then me and Alex will try to find out what your hobby is.
Okay, wake up in the morning.
Netflix is not a hobby.
Wake up in the morning, have my coffee, go to work. I work for like 10 hours a day. Come back, either...
#workaholic.
Yeah, I am, by the way, it's very bad. Could that be a hobby? No, it can't.
No, that's not. That's a condition. That's a thing that you need to. And then all the people in the background are like, "What do you mean condition?"
I don't know. Anyway.
Go ahead.
So yeah, and then I finish and I either go catch up with some friends or I just come back home.
Okay.
No, I don't go to the gym.
Okay.
That's my day.
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's my day. Literally, this is my day.
Okay.
Run errands if I have to, sometimes.
Okay.
Weekend, wake up, go to a brunch.
Okay.
Or go to the beach, depending on the weather.
Do you do anything on the beach? Like, do you paddleboard? Do you kite surf? Volleyball?
I play palette sometimes. Depends on the person I'm
Le
with.
palette?
I do. Oui, je palette.
Je palette.
No, I don't know.
I palette. I palette.
And then, and I eat and I love eating. And
well, there we go. There we go.
this should not be a hobby.
Oh, wait. I didn't say that the actual act of not.
I like cooking. Oh my God.
there we go.
Yes.
Wait, I didn't mean that gluttony is the hobby.
I know. Potentially be a food critic.
Yes.
As if we don't have enough of them.
Yeah, but you can always do something different, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Because you are unique, like everybody else.
In your own ways.
No, I mean you can be that, right? You can be a food critic, but you just need to add something. You know, something that's a twist or something that is people don't usually expect.
Yeah, no, I'm not bothered. No, I think food's not my.
So food is not. We're not going to this anymore.
No, I mean I like cooking, yes, definitely. But for me, cooking is more of a venting system. Yeah.
From work?
In general, from everything. For me, it's my gym.
Okay.
It's my stress reliever. You go in the kitchen, you start chopping those onions.
Okay.
What?
Take that, you cucumber.
No.
Where's the tomato?
No, not like
here,
that.
You stay here. Less salt. I said less salt.
Nobody's allowed to be in the kitchen with me.
Sorry?
Nobody. I cannot stand anyone hovering around me in the kitchen when I'm cooking.
Okay. And you have everything set up in a certain way and it's all process driven? Because I'm like that when I actually cooked. Surprising. I know everyone is like, you cook? And then I did for a while.
Really? It's not surprising.
A little bit. It's not considered cooking actually. It's not.
No, in Ramadan I cooked a lot. I had I did maybe 8 iftarat with 12 people each time.
Okay. And what was on the menu? Because apparently pasta doesn't count, so...
No, I had stews, Lebanese stews and steaks,
so you did the hard
chicken.
stuff.
But the stews are not the hard ones.
The yakhni.
They're the easiest.
I did the yakhni.
they're the easiest.
Really?
It's very easy.
Well, if you know how to do the rice, I guess.
Yeah, the rice. Come on, we don't know how to do rice.
Like how she says it so casually, the rice. No.
I mean, if you know how to do pasta, you know how to do rice.
Really? Oh, well, I guess
the steps are a bit different, but
okay.
No, you're gonna say it.
I said I was gonna say they're kind of the same, right? It's kind of the same.
Walk me out.
Okay, there's smoke coming out, and then there's water involved. Right?
Yeah, I told you it's the same, but the steps are different.
Okay. So wait, because there's so many interesting things. I just don't know which one to sink my teeth in. So.
Hey.
Sink my teeth. You got it?
Got it.
I guess everyone's like, no. No. Just wrap it up, boy. Keep it moving. I think okay, so tell us when you do an iftar or walk us through one of the yakhnis. One of the yakhnis. I know many people watching, they're like, we know already. We know.
Yeah, exactly.
We're pros.
Why are you putting me in this
I don't want to
situation?
know her method. I want to know your method.
But there's no it's just.
I don't. Please explain.
Okay, what yakhni?
I just eat.
What yakhni?
Anything.
Anything, you prepare the stuff, you prepare the ingredients, obviously. I feel like I'm on a cooking talk show. What?
When you cook, you prepare the stuff.
The ingredients.
This stuff, you put it into the pot.
And then you boil it. No, seriously. So you have your vegetables, depending on the stew that you're making. Since we're going generic, I'm going to use very generic terms.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Be specific. Be specific.
Okay, Bemyeh.
Bazella. Okay. Now we know that we like two different things.
No, I mean, I like Bazella as well, but I don't know. I felt like saying Bemyeh because everyone hates it.
Yes, and I used to hate it. Now I like it.
But
That's
so
a
good.
side note. No one needs to know.
So,
Explain.
Bemyeh.
Okay.
You fry, well, do I have to start from like when you peel and chop the onions? No, right? Okay, you peel, you chop your onions,
No need to.
garlic, and coriander. The
Okay.
best. The best part of every dish is coriander.
Okay.
You fry them. Obviously, you've done your rice, yeah? It's ready, it's on the side.
Obviously.
You really want to know how to do rice?
No. A staple food. In economics, rice is considered a jiffin good.
My God. Anyway, so yeah, so you do it. You fry the onion, you fry the garlic, you fry the coriander, you get the bemyeh, you put it in the pot, you fry it, 2-3 minutes. You put water.
Everything's fried now.
Yeah, it's just like for like 2-3 minutes. That's it to get it a bit golden brown.
Okay.
You put the water. You put your broth. So what is it? Chicken or meat?
Okay.
And your tomatoes. Your chopped, very finely chopped tomatoes with the sauce. Some people use. Oh my God! I can't believe I'm having this conversation. If you want to go organic,
you know, I'm
do
gonna
not
rewatch
use
this
foamy
video.
and
I'm
do
gonna
the
rewatch the video, and I'm gonna be doing the steps. So make sure that this is correct, because I want to be going and cooking something, and the next thing the guy is on the floor.
Yeah, of course, no way.
So please,
if you want to go organic, you use fresh tomatoes.
have to go organic.
If you don't, you can use the pommy, the canned tomato paste.
Okay, yes, I know that.
Okay, and then you just let it boil.
That I've done before for
And it's
pasta
done.
sauce. I've done that before.
And that's it.
That's it. And you
that's
just
it.
mix, and then there
That's
we
it.
go.
You let it all boil together. And then obviously you can add meat
Yes.
if you want. If not, because some people are like you know, the new vegan trend.
We need to discuss that now, please. I need to understand this vegan trend.
I don't know. Like, I'm a hardcore carnivore. I don't understand why anyone would stop eating
That we'll discuss
meat.
it. Just finish the bemyeh because it's so exciting.
And that's it. And then you serve it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, depends on how thick or thin you want the sauce to be.
Yes, sure.
And that's it. For the rice, if you want to know about the rice, you fry a bit of vermicelli.
The sticky rice, right?
Well, it's rice. Whether it's sticky or not, it's because you probably left it.
Because any types of rice can be sticky?
No.
I like the sticky rice, you know?
So you mean you don't like the Uncle Ben's rice?
That one? No, I don't.
No. You like the short white ones.
With the but they're also it's the sticky one.
It's some khabsin bijou.
Yes,
but it's just a way of doing it.
Okay,
it's just
fine.
you know.
Fine.
I think it's the Egyptian
Yes,
rice.
usually it's Egyptian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's okay. So then you don't need to know about that.
Okay. Let's go to this vegan trend. What's your issue with?
I can't say I have an issue. I mean, it's their life. It's not like it's affecting me, so I don't have an issue.
Spoken like a true carnivore.
No, but it's just I don't understand. Why would someone stop meat or chicken or fish? I get it. I mean, everything in excess isn't good for you. Just have it once.
That's true.
Once a week. I mean, there's this macrobiotic diet whereby you have, I think it's 20% of your diet is protein. Okay. No, it's actually like meat. But they tell you stay away from chicken and alternate between fish and red meat or something like that. So you end up having once a week or once every 10 days, like either fish or chicken for like not a day, a meal, which is fine. I get it. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but at least you're not like cutting it out from your system.
No, I think yes.
And then people who stop cheese and dairy. I mean, I get it. For women, it's not good. Dairy isn't good for.
Well, the processed stuff. I mean, you can have maybe certain types, but a lot of the processed stuff is definitely bad. That's definitely bad.
Like, I get it. Stop the things that have a negative impact on your health as an individual, but you need to study it. Like, you need to get those tests done, you need to monitor, you need to try cutting this out and then bringing it back in. But don't just say, I'm a vegan, I'm stopping all meats, I'm stopping all dairy. What do you mean? What about cheese? What about, like, it's just boring, no?
What about 4 cheese pizza? You can't miss on that.
Yeah, so no.
Well, I think you know, it's just people now, because there's so much horrible things we put in our bodies. I think people are just trying to find certain ways to.
But you can.
Yes, I agree with you. There's always way. It doesn't have to be just cutting out meat. But I think more of the issue is that the fact that the ignorance of the way this meat reaches us, at least. You know, I think that's when I actually felt there was a few years ago. I felt I wanted to become, let's say, vegetarian. I had this feeling. I don't know why I had this feeling. I kind of like looked at meat.
I get it,
like,
and it's normal.
Maybe I should not do this anymore. And I realized, like, I also want to be aware of the fact that how this meat actually arrives.
Yes, 100%.
And being ignorant of it is I don't know. It's
no, I agree. I agree. This is why you can start. You can start by avoiding the processed food, the canned food, all those sausages and whatnot. But all I'm saying is, people tend to, without understanding its negative impacts, they just, because it's a trend, and they go like, oh, let me just stop meat. I'll just stop meat. No, you know, you can have meat once a week. It's fine. Don't have it on weekdays. Have it only on the weekend. Don't have chicken. Have fish. It's one thing to tell me I don't like it. It's another thing to tell me, but no, meat's not good for you. What? What are you talking about? Like, no, what's not good for you is that cigarette in your hand. I'm a smoker, by the way, so.
Oh, you ain't done it.
No, but what I'm saying is that.
Okay, no, I like the take on it. I just wanted to understand, because you were like vegan trend, so I thought.
Yeah, I don't understand how people don't eat meat.
Okay.
But then again, it's because some of them don't believe it. Like they animal rights and.
Well, yes, that's part of it, and it's also part of the, like I said, the whole from A to Z process is very. What's the right word? Very. Not questionable. It's just it's become inhumane in some way, in some way. But, okay, and that's the show with Nathalie talking about food and nutrition. Thank you so much. Now I think we can move on to the hobby now, which we've tried to. We've tried to, and you said cooking is not. You know, we spent literally 40 minutes now, and nobody knows who you are. Okay, so. I love her straight face looking at the camera. She's like, I've been speaking for 40 minutes.
No, what do you mean?
I've been speaking for 40 minutes.
What do you mean?
40 minutes, I was speaking for 40 minutes. Can't believe this. And nobody knows who you are. So, as in, I mean, like...
I'm not famous, Ali.
No. You don't have to be. I'm saying is, just tell us a little bit more about yourself. You know, how we met, maybe...
What do you want to know?
Maybe just talk about you know, you grew up where you grew up.
I grew up in Lebanon. Okay, I went to AUB. Okay,
she's starting. Okay,
I left AUB. I moved to Abu Dhabi, where you grew up.
Okay.
Whoop whoop whoop. Worked there for 2 years as a designer. Left that, moved to Dubai, moved into project management, more like events. Had a great 2 years. Was it 2 or 3 years freelancing? It was amazing. I did one of the best projects I've done in my life.
Which is?
Apple.
Okay, tell us more.
And now I'm in museology. Tell you more about Apple.
So
I like to finish my sentence and then I can focus on the Apple thing.
Fine. I just wanted to catch you before you jumped, because I realized you just jump onto topics very quickly. Yeah, but it's just literally.
That's true.
This is just what you did.
I do get bored very easily. I'm very impatient.
This is literally what you just did. So yeah, I finished university and then I went to NASA and I became an astronaut. But then I came back and I started becoming an Uber driver. And wait.
Did you just say that? Did you just compare my museology field to an Uber driver?
No, I compared the contrast between two scenarios where
Apple.
one is extremely interesting
And the other is
the other one is let's say it's
museum. What are you talking about?
let's say it's museology. Is that the word?
It's it's the field, no?
No, I'm joking. I'm pulling your leg. I know it's very interesting, which is why we were discussing it earlier. Okay.
I'm very hurt.
I wasn't comparing. I was just saying there's something that is really cool. Which
I think you need to stop.
You brushed off.
I think no. I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, so
fine,
basically, I worked with Apple.
Dodge the bullet there.
I'm not so sure I'm supposed to be talking about it, but it's done in the States.
I mean, you can discuss and then we will assess later.
Sure. As a content production manager, and what we were doing, we had 3 projects with them. And the first one, I think, was in March or October or August 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long spread of dates.
In Silicon, it was in Silicon Valley. It was really,
In Palo Alto?
really cool. No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Palo Alto.
No, but Palo Alto is where Google is.
Let's cut this out.
I think, no?
They're both in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I know, but they are. But in specific, in Silicon Valley, you have Palo Alto, you have Mountain View, you
I
have...
mean the areas. Okay, sure.
What were you referring to?
No, I thought because I think maybe I was mixed up with Apple had their first stores in Palo Alto, the first store ever.
Yes.
Maybe I got mixed up there. That's fine.
But their offices are like everywhere.
Yeah.
They're
No, but
like
I think they
58
started
buildings.
in Silicon. They started in Palo Alto, no? In a garage. Is that how it? Whatever. This whole thing is going
I don't know
out.
that history. I don't know the history.
It's fine. Please go ahead.
So yeah, so they were doing the launch of the iPhone 7. And instead of, they create the content there, right? It comes from the States, like from their in-house agencies there. And instead of actually sending the content to all the head offices around the world, they bring those people they fly everyone to the States so that they do the work there in order not to avoid leakage of information.
Okay.
And everybody should be on a flight back the second it's being launched.
Amazing.
So if you want to extend, you cannot extend. You can come earlier if you want to
that's pretty
travel or
cool.
something.
So there's no way.
They pay a lot of money for confidentiality. A lot of money.
That's cool. There's no way you can be telling anyone, and the news will never go out during the flight. That's pretty cool.
It's really nice. Yeah. No,
I mean,
it's
I
very.
never knew that's actually what happened.
Their culture is amazing. It's beautiful, to be honest. And what I loved, it's open spaces, and you'd have the Middle East team, so Dubai, Lebanon. Actually, only Dubai and Lebanon, because Dubai, they do the works for the entire region. And then you have Turkey, and then you have the States, and then you have Europe, you have France, you have UK, you have China, you have India, it's amazing. Everyone's working together on the same thing, but in different languages.
Yes.
It's so cool. It was amazing. Amazing.
And what were you doing in specific? You told me you were doing some...
I was a CPM, a content production manager. So I was the... Why do you look at Alex like, what the hell did you just say?
No, I was saying, I'm a CPM. I'm BODDM.
I was...
Joking.
I told you I'm a content production manager.
I know. Just the way you said it.
So I manage the content that's being produced. Did you hear what I just said?
You manage the content that's being produced.
Yeah.
Okay. And you mean as in what's the new story that they're telling about the iPhone 7? Is it
No, it's strictly on the interface of it. So everything that you see on advertisements,
the UI,
everything that you see online, offline, that come from how they showcase the iPhone,
okay,
and they show you the different pages. So we would be there doing it, taking screenshots, using it. So we have a punch list of all the different. What do they call them? The different faces, for example, of the phone, of the Apple
the
Watch.
interfaces or the OS.
That they want to show, and what faces go where. And that's what we do, basically. We recreate them. Obviously, we recreate them to fit the region. So if you have something with a dog, you have to find another image. Because in the UAE, you can't use images of dogs. You know that, right?
I did not.
Really? Yeah, fun fact.
I didn't know that.
Advertisement in the UAE.
Okay.
You can't. Think about it.
Maybe I didn't even think about it, actually.
Now, the reason why I know this is because, I come from an advertising background, right?
Yeah. I know you're very
so
well
we used
versed
to
in this.
cut out everything that's to do with dogs. And you need to obviously change all the names from John to Karim and from
Yeah, of course.
Lydia to Tamara. Names that are like in
Plug.
this region.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay.
So it was interesting. I guess the experience.
Jeff to Sharif, يعني.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the best part, I think, of my experience. It wasn't the actual work. It was the entire experience of working with other people for such a huge event.
Yeah, which is arguably always the biggest, one of the biggest events of the year. Everyone that waits for. That's pretty cool, Nat. Really, I think the fact that you had this trip that you had to travel and you worked with all these people. I think it's really cool. I mean,
Thanks.
It's something that's pretty huge. Tell me about. Let's go lower in the many amazing things that you've done. Let's go to Cambodia. What's your goal there? What's the
Honestly, I'm taking advice from my sister. She's done it. She's done one in Kenya, she's done one in Nepal, and she's done one in, I think it was Thailand. And she highly recommends it. She actually worked with children over there, schools. I don't know why I didn't go for that. Maybe I can change. But as selfish as it sounds, because it is, just when you think, you're giving back to the community, right? So you're going to go and you're going to do some volunteer work. But in fact, you're helping yourself.
Yes.
Feel better about yourself. I didn't have to say that.
No, but wait. It's interesting that you mentioned that, because actually that's what I felt.
It's not a selfless act, that's what I'm saying. People think that volunteering is you being selfless, but it's not. Because you
want to feel better for yourself.
Yes. And if that's the case, and now that I'm thinking about it, why don't you do it here? Do you have to travel? Like, why don't you start from here? If this is something that you really want to do.
You could say the same thing if you were living in Lebanon. I think the fact of actually traveling is will get you out of like the routine, for example.
But also you're there for 2 weeks only, or 3 weeks, or 4, unless you're doing it for like 6 months,
Sure.
Really still, to support in building this school.
Yeah, but breaking that routine, and then also you are, albeit it's a short time, right? You're still looking at, let's say, a place that people don't take many things for granted, or they don't have much, and you have to understand that, I think it's more of, it's good to be out, not in your usual routine place, to see what other people,
I agree 100%, but I need to study it a bit more, but just to see, because if you really think about it, when you volunteer and when you do all of these things, you're helping yourself before you're helping others.
That doesn't have to be necessarily true. Because maybe you might go and you might do it, and you might actually.
I'm saying it's unfortunate, and this idea I'm still trying to
Well, you can even go
wrap my head around it,
saying, but those the programs, maybe they say, okay, we know people do this, let's still do the program. You know what I mean?
Of course, no, and it's 2 birds, 1 stone at the end of the day, right? So I'm helping myself, but I'm also helping others. I'm lending a hand. I'm giving money. I'm sharing things I know. I don't know, but you're also helping yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that volunteering is a selfless act.
Yes, that is. I can agree with you on that one. I'm just saying.
Because you go to bed, you go I did something good today.
Yeah.
You feel good about yourself.
But still, I think that shouldn't be considered as something bad too.
It's not. I'm not saying it's bad. No. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm saying it's a great thing, and everybody should be doing it. But it's not a selfless act.
Well said. Just put it that way. That's well said.
You don't agree with me?
No, I do. Okay. No, I do. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's not wrong. You know, I know you didn't say it was. Just saying. Anyway. So Nat.
Ali.
Whoa.
I just thought I had to say your name.
Okay, there was a second question, which... I'm sorry? The hobby? Well, I don't know. The hobby was supposed to be cooking, but apparently it's just a venting activity. Just she does this to be mad at kitchen utensils.
No, not at all. Not at all. It helps me relieve stress. I love my kitchen utensils.
You love them? Do you take pictures of them?
No.
Here's my knife. Hashtag stainless steel. Okay. Wait, there's a second question that I didn't ask you. What was that?
No, I don't know. What's the second question?
Okay, so the second question I didn't ask you because we have like kind of two standard questions, but I forgot to ask you this one. The second question is, who, in your opinion, is the most underrated artist of our time? Or could be in, well, let's just say our time. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be music. Doesn't have to be movies, artists, or
underrated artist.
It can be.
I'm not very like.
You're not in with the cool kids?
No.
I very much am.
I'm not, but
like, should you wanna maybe break it down to a genre maybe first?
Maybe, I guess, if that would help me. If that would help me. Not you, obviously. I'm just trying to like underrated artist.
Take your time.
I am taking my time.
It's fine. We'll edit it all out. It's fine.
No, I can't do it.
It's gonna look like she, just, oh my gosh.
I don't know, by the way. Like, really, I don't know. I'm like, Anjad, I don't know. Like, I don't have an answer for you.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's do it this way. If we're talking about music.
Okay.
Is there like someone that you listen to that maybe you're the only one from your friends that listen to this person, let's say?
No.
So music isn't a good option.
Even art and...
So all what you have in your head is everyone is like either overrated or they're good.
Yeah, seriously.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm not into like, no, I'm not one to like look for the up and coming talents or like a specific type of music. Then I like to try to find an artist that caters to that. Or I don't really, I'm telling you, I don't really care about this.
You just get fed the top 40. It's like top 40.
Yeah,
top
and whatever
40.
sounds good, I just stick to it.
Okay.
So sad, but I'm just not into it. Like it doesn't matter.
Okay. That's interesting because no, the reason I'm saying it's interesting is because all of those people that you probably were listening to were underrated at some point.
Maybe, yeah.
They were all maybe like, let's say, unknowns at some point, and then suddenly...
I'm not a fan of an artist. I'm a fan of the piece of work that he or she produces. So I could hate everything except one song or one book or one, I don't know, painting. Do you know what I mean?
I understand.
But that's because I'm not into this field. Like, I'm not, weirdly enough, because I work in the arts industry, but I work on the business side of things.
I mean, you don't listen to music and sometimes.
But I do. I listen to music, but I don't go like, look for a certain song I heard once. No, it's what's playing now. Let's just listen to it, and maybe John Mayer. That's it.
He's not underrated though.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The only guy that I would think of actually, and no, I want to listen to his songs is John Mayer, and he's not an underrated artist.
Fine. Okay.
Sorry.
We'll take your answer as you don't have one, and all the things you listen to are either overrated or they're good.
But that's because I'm not in. Like, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not intrigued
Okay.
to want to know more about this field. Is that a crime?
No, that isn't. It's far from it. It's not a crime.
Who do you think is underrated?
Flipped again. I mean, I have a lot of names, but from different fields, I guess. Not art. I don't know much. Music, movies.
Who?
Music. Well, and I might get shot for these things, but maybe because they're now good. But in my opinion, there's Bryson Tiller.
See, yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Daniel
about.
Caesar, Tom Misch. I said these names before. Arizona. The band, not the state.
J'ai aucune idée.
I mean, those are some of the stuff that I've been listening to recently, right? So, I mean, even The Weeknd at one point was very underrated, and then obviously that blew up and things changed, right? In movies, I mean, there's a lot of artists as well, like actors, that are very, very underrated in my opinion, like Jake Gyllenhaal, for example. I think I find him very underrated, and Ryan Gosling.
I thought you were going to say I find him very hot. Sorry.
I don't know how to continue now. I'm joking.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
He's good looking though. I mean, we can't.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jake Gyllenhaal. You don't know Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
The guy in.
Don't say that movie.
What?
Memento?
No. It's not Memento. It's not Memento.
It's a movie you shouldn't say.
Okay. No. I know which movie. I
Which
was going to
movie?
discuss that one. No, I'm saying Nightcrawler.
No.
Zodiac.
No.
Oh God, save me. What's
Save you? I just don't like. Well, I'm not.
Enemy? Well, Enemies. I have to say that.
Anyway, that's not the point. Okay, so we get it. This
whatever.
guy.
Okay, this guy. Ryan Gosling.
No, Ryan Gosling is not underrated.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is not underrated.
Wait, he's not like one of those.
I know Ryan Gosling. He's not. If I know of Ryan Gosling, trust me, he's not underrated.
Sorry, suddenly the bar now.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't know anything about this.
I mean, look. What I meant
What do
to
they
say
call
is
it? The box
office.
The box office.
Well,
So for me to know of him, that means he's definitely not underrated. Come on.
He's underrated compared to other actors.
You mean with the roles that he's getting?
No, just
Exposure?
Like, yeah, maybe.
He has a lot of exposure. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I find him like he was underrated at some point. Maybe not now because he's done Blade Runner, right? 2049, which was probably one that is pretty good. But has he won an Oscar? No, he hasn't. I don't think he has.
I don't know. I don't watch the Oscars.
Sorry. Okay, now here we go. So let's discuss something that you want to talk about. Let's see if we can use it.
Well, I'm banking on something. I'm trying to get our company to, because we have, our headquarters are in Montreal and in Singapore.
Sorry.
And obviously Dubai. But I'm trying to get them to start adapting this exchange program because I want to go to Singapore and work on the penguin conservation.
Oh, that's another volunteering thing, right?
No, that's work. That's a project that we have.
Okay. No, I know they do like turtle conservation. They do that. So I thought you were talking about this specific thing.
So it's a project plan for 2019, and I want to see if I can get on it.
To Singapore. What does Montreal have to do with it? The headquarters will decide from them?
No, I just gave an introduction about the offices and where they are.
Okay. I thought they make a decision. I don't know.
Well, obviously, the board makes the decision, but yeah.
Okay.
So penguin conservation, maybe then we can talk about it. Would be interesting.
Yes, we can't now. It's confidential. Another thing down the drain. Oh, man. Okay. Let me ask you this. Okay, how has this experience been for you?
Really nice, but it really made me question what I'm doing, other than I go to work.
Well, see, that's the thing.
That's so sad. I don't do anything for myself. I need to. You know what I mean? So that's what I got from this session for me, personally.
But then when I asked you about the volunteering, you said you're doing that for yourself, and you were kind of like, that's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like,
But the
oh, what is
volunteering
that?
thing is like once a year. I'm saying I don't really have a like. It could be sports. It could be painting. It could be rock climbing. It could be anything. Like I don't. What do I do for myself besides going out?
Well, now's the time to decide.
I can't decide on the spot. I need to try several things, and I'll let you know what I like.
And you'll send us a video.
Yeah.
Shout out. You know, guys, this is what I chose.
Shout out to Nobody's Famous.
And just say, you know, I've decided to be a shark cage diving instructor. And I'll say, good for you. You know? I'll see you in Cape Town.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much that's it.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say thank you for I have to lean forward. I want to say thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And a closing statement maybe is, you know,
be happy, stay true to yourself.
oh my God.
And don't use it.
Oh God, no, please. Please. No cliches here. No cliches.
Sure.
I mean, we've always been doing some cliche stuff, but we try to stay away from cliches.
Okay.
Which is now suddenly cliche. How did I just okay? That one is for free. No. That one is for free. Free advice. Free advice.
Oh my God.
For everybody.
Cool.
Is there something you wanna ask me before we close, Nat? Just maybe something like what you thought of before we did this, or I don't know.
I think no, not really, but it's just that's not what I'm sorry. Oh no, but I think this initiative is great. I think I wasn't maybe the perfect subject, because I don't have the knowledge of the topics that you would like to talk about, but I think it's an amazing platform to get to know people and like just talk. Because really, what you said at the beginning, like you never sit and you talk, like we never. I live with Tamara and we barely talk about things that is not complaining, or I'm tired, or I'm hungry, and I think it's beautiful and you should do more of it.
It's actually funny because, you know, for example, when you're in a relationship, a lot of the beginning is like going out, having conversations, and trying to, you know, open
get
up topics,
to know the
get to know
person.
the person, all that stuff. That's a lot of the beginning part. And then next thing you know, which is a good part of the relationship, by the way, you end up sharing silence. You know, which is actually there's something that
sharing silence is like the hardest thing. I mean, once you're able to do it with someone.
Yeah, I'm saying it's an amazing step. But what I'm saying is, I think sometimes with sharing silence, there's some things that get forgotten, which is like actually having the things that got you to that place in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
like it's always good to be able to speak to people and stuff. I mean, with your partner, be able to have those conversations, and it doesn't have to be an hour long or 2 hours long.
Or using microphones.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be, you know, doesn't need to be posted on Instagram, you know. Nobody needs to know. What I'm saying is #relationship. I'm saying, I mean, it's just one of the things that we want to try to do with the show is to bring back a little bit of that. I know it's around everywhere in the world, and there's podcasts out there that are doing that stuff. There's shows, there's all that kind of stuff. I mean, talk shows, not so much. They say they're talk shows, right? But
not anymore.
They're scripted, or they're whatever, right? But we want to try and bring back at least conversations between people, and really, like you said,
it could be nice to have a group.
Yeah, that we were trying to do one of the episodes like that.
It would be very interesting, actually.
Soon. We'll have one soon.
Like a debate. You'd have like two opposing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
And then you'd be the moderator.
Yeah, some moderator I would be. Whoop! There goes the mic. Okay. Can we you know. So no, it's
Perfect.
good. Okay, Nat, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
And we'll see you soon on the Nobody's Famous podcast.
No, exciting. Can't wait.